What would you think if you went into work today and they were interviewing for a new hire and that new potential hire showed up and brought a baby in a baby carriage and was like, I'm a mom, this is my baby, and I'm here for my interview now.
Yeah.
Would that be a problem for you, Allison?
Not necessarily.
Okay, explain what you mean by this, because I have been in a situation that was similar. You were in the same situation, and it wasn't great. And I'll explain in just a second.
Okay, well, I can't wait for you to explain. But Janet already in with this saying this is okay only if you're applying to a daycare center.
Okay, that makes perfect sense,
so
actually.
That's kind of where I stand, is it really depends on the job. Like, I think if it's like a work from home position where it does cater to working moms, then that's fine, because it's like this is a realistic situation for this person, and we can't rule out this candidate because she brought her baby to the interview. But certainly there are jobs where that isn't going to look good. And I'll say I lost a job because I did a online interview and my dog was in the room and he would not stop barking. It was my second interview with that company, and the first interview went really well. They were really excited. They want to move forward. The second interview, they stopped talking to me. So I have a feeling it can make you look really bad if you have something like a dog or baby or something that's going to cause a lot of distractions in that interview.
And speaking of distractions, this is where I come in and remember my experience at somewhere I worked where there was a new mom who was allegedly my boss, and she would come in like once a week for a meeting, and it would be a meeting between me and Allison. You and I would meet with her, and then we would have another person, so the four of us. And at one point, the fourth person is just on the phone. And at one point, our boss's baby started crying in the middle of the meeting, and the person who was on the phone was like, excuse me, is there a baby crying on the phone?
Right.
And it's like, this is not helping us get our jobs done.
Well, it's not professional, right? And I think the bigger key to that story was it wasn't just some meeting. It was a meeting with our talent coach. So it was the person who was really trying to make our show better and make us better and like career development for us. So imagine you're going to one of your professional development days. It's really crucial for your career. And the whole time there's a crying baby, to the point where your instructor has to say, is that a baby? Like,
who's got a baby?
We can't focus if we've got all these distractions.
I would love to know what you think. Would you like to work at a place that you could bring your baby to for the job interview? Would that be good for you? Apparently, some of the moms who are doing it are saying that if they don't want to work for a company that doesn't accept that type of thing.
And that's fine. Like I said, I think that there are jobs that's going to be totally fine, and the employer should not look at that as a bad thing, but it's got to be the right job, the right company for that to work.
A lot of different opinions about babies at job interviews. Adam and Allison on Y101. We're talking about it because that's the new trend with the young millennials and Gen Z who are moms. They bring their baby to the job interview, and some people are okay with it. Some people are not. I don't think that I'd be that okay with it.
I think it really depends on the job, because like me as an ADHD person, I get distracted really easily, and a baby is going to be distracting, whether they're crying, they need attention. So if I have to be around them in an office space, that's going to be distracting. But there are lots of jobs these days where you could be a working mom and have your baby around, and it's not going to be a distraction to you or the job. And in that case, bring the baby to the interview.
So I'm going to throw out a completely hypothetical situation. Let's say this is not happening, but let's say we were interviewing for another member of the show.
Yes.
And somebody came to the job interview and brought their baby. Would you immediately have questions about how that hire would work out?
Yeah, because this is a situation where distractions do need to be kept to a minimum. Like, I can't bring my dog Celie in every day and have him barking or causing distractions. It would affect the show negatively. So in that case, yeah, I'd have some questions.
Sheree texted, I'm a single mother of 3. I disagree with bringing your child to an interview. Like, how are you going to be a mother and try to get a job at the same time? Hire somebody to watch your child for the hour that you're going to be gone. Like, are you going to bring your child to work too? I think not.
Ooh, that does bring up a really interesting point of like how you should focus 100% 100% to whatever you're doing at that time. Like if you're with your kids, be 100% with your kids. If you're at work, be 100% at work.
Now, Sarah says, I see where you're coming from, but there are times when it cannot be helped. There are situations where moms have no choice, but I see your point 100%.
But I also can see people around that mom who has no choice maybe having some questions.
Felicia, would you bring your baby to a job interview?
No, that's not the way we were brought up. That's not the way we were taught.
And how would you feel if a potential coworker of yours came in for a job interview, they're getting hired at your place of business, and you see that they bring a baby? Are you going to be upset if they do get the job?
I'm not going to be upset, but if I'm doing the interview, I'm going to be polite and everything else. So we'll keep in touch. Thank you for coming in.
Would you have questions if she did get hired? Did we ask to make sure that she's not going to show up day one of her shift at this restaurant with her baby?
Well, honestly, if you come into a job interview with your child, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
You have to have a babysitter.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, the common courtesy thing would be to reschedule and explain the situation.
In the wise words of Randy Jackson, it's a no from me, dog.
Okay, see what I'm saying?
Hey, Felicia. Hey, you have a great day and a great weekend. Thanks for calling us. Bye-bye. All right. That was fun. It's an interesting conversation.
It is, because I get that it's hard, but it's kind of like those jobs where you have to have reliable transportation, and some people don't have reliable transportation. That stinks that you can't get that job, but it's the way that it is. It really stinks.